Yeah, when we talk about a charity, sometimes we feel that this is our nature to feel that you have $100, for example, in your pocket, but when you donate to someone, let me say $5, your money will be reduced to 95. You will mathematically it will be reduced, but whether you know or not, according to this verse of the Quran, your money, your money in your pocket will be a multiple. Maybe not today, maybe in next week or next month or next year or after 2 or 3 years. Maybe not in the form of dollar, but in the form of dignity, in the form of a job opportunity. The position will be promoted. You will be appointed here and there. So this is the way, the gain that we got. So therefore, when Allah SWT say that, what we call up to mi'atu habba, I strongly agree about that because mathematically and practically can be achieved. That can be achieved. But uh, the problem among us, of course, fear of loss. Because mathematically, you will count that it will be reduced from 100 to maybe $95. But actually, not lost. That is why we say that once you infak more, you will gain more. Like for example, macam juga. Once you ada anak, you will tambah, your rezeki will bertambah. Because once you ada anak, you have to infak more. But inshallah, with well management, you will be also your rezeki also will be increased, right? So, so believe that sometime you will be offered a job because you have so many children, but at the same time, you have to have the qualifications, right? Because I found many people, dia kata dia menganggur so many years, and then after dia dapat anak, finally be called as to work here and there. So this is rezeki because we have to understand that the real decision maker is Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala to open the heart of the one who made the decision maker. So therefore, don't worry about infaq fi sabilillah, and but at the same time also you have to know how to manage that your property. Because sometimes you will see that the people ni kalau kita keep giving to them, dia macam dia tidak grateful, tidak menghargai, right? So kalau boleh kita bagi dia apabila dapat RM1, dia pun semacamnya dia akan bertambah juga duit dia tu. Dia kena fikir how to, the one who donate me, for example, the government give to me, let me say that 500 per month, right, as a bonus and so on. How to make sure that 500 ni tak habis. Maybe it can be used for the investment and then keep here and there. If you know how to manage that, meaning that you know how to apply the words of the Quran, which has been discussed today. Of course, the most important one, sincerity. But I think the one who give the money have to be sincere also. Have to be sincere. The one who receive the money also have to be sincere. In another word, yang menerima itu dia macam ada sifat berhutang budi, bersifat berterima kasih. Dia macam ada sifat mungkin selepas dia terima, dia tak tunjuk kata dia berterima kasih. Berterima kasih in my context not just to say that thank you. You have to put terima kasih ataupun to translate terima kasih into action. For example, kalau kita bagi duit hari ni kat you, let me say that $100, and then lagi bagi duit, lagi dia malas. So now this is not the purpose of infaq fi sabilillah. Kita bagi duit kat you tolong you. After that, you ada bersemangat, berterima kasih, you bekerja kuat. At the same time also, maybe in this case, you boleh jadi volunteer kat masjid sana sini. Baru orang nampak kata you berterima kasih in that context. Right. So I would like to stress, I normally stress to the people that we cannot only blame to the one who are rich, have a lot of money. Because kalau dia bagi banyak ni pun sometimes the receiver tu tak rasa macam dia menerima. Because dia tak grateful. Dia grateful hanya dengan kata-kata thank you saja. Tapi dia kena tunjukkan dia tu grateful, terima kasih dalam bentuk action. This is very important. Once dia tunjuk dalam bentuk actions, dia akan terima lagi what we call punya infak ataupun donation daripada seorang, mungkin 2 orang, 3 orang, 4 orang dan sebagainya.